Good evening, everybody. This is Byron Belka calling in from Springville, Utah tonight, and I'm excited to be able to talk about Rain International. For those of you that are getting on this webinar for the first time, make sure that you have something to write with and write on so that you have any questions, you can get back to the person that invited you on this, get your questions answered, and hopefully see what we see and see why we're so excited and join us. Now, I'm sure this isn't the first presentation that you've ever heard, and I'm sure anybody that's ever presented to you before told you that what they had was the best thing since sliced bread and yada, yada, yada. So you expect me to say those things. Well, guys, I'm here to talk about facts, figures, and numbers, and the reason that I do is because the facts don't lie. And if we look at history, it tends to repeat itself. So, this isn't just Byron's opinion on things. This is actually what's relevant in today's economy and what's going on right now on a global scale and how we can capitalize and position ourselves in front of some of the biggest trends that I think you and I could ever see in our lifetime. So, I'm not here to give you a rah-rah speech tonight. So anyway, sit back, relax, and write down any questions you have, and let's get into this. So my name's Byron Belka. I'm 35 years old. I'm nothing special. I'm the oldest of 6 kids. I grew up outside of Salt Lake City, Utah. And I've just had a few opportunities in life presented in front of me that, one, I recognized as an opportunity, and two, I did something about it. And out of all the things that I've seen, what I'm about to share with you tonight is one of the most compelling, exciting things I've ever seen in doing business all around the globe. And so, guys, the first thing that I want to talk about is, with all the doom and gloom right now that's happening in the economy and those types of things, and people, going to school and thinking that they're going to use their degree and maybe having life beat you up a little bit. I just want to ask the question, and it's not cheesy, guys, it's relevant, but what is it that you really want? What is it? Have you given up on it? What is it that you're after? You're here, we live a day, and then once that day's gone, we don't get it back. Okay, what do you want out of life? What are your dreams? What does freedom really mean to you? And how can you make it a reality? Because years ago I found something that's changed my life, and it wasn't that all of a sudden I got better at things. I positioned myself, and I was in a different vehicle, and I was in front of some trends that pushed me a lot further than I could have ever possibly gone on my own. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more as we get into this, but the key is, what do you want? Now, all of us come from different backgrounds and different walks of life, and what you want might be something different than what somebody else has, but what I'm going to share with you tonight is universal, that no matter what you're after, no matter what your goals or your hopes and dreams are, that I'm going to show you a vehicle to be able to get to them. All right? So I want you to be thinking about this as we go through this presentation, but what does freedom really mean to you, and how can you make it a reality? And I know what the main thing that's holding people back from doing it is, and that is, finances. We're in a financial crisis right now. Things have changed. People used to be able to get by with one income. Nowadays, people are having a hard time getting by with 2 incomes. On Fortune magazine, where it says right here, 50 and fired. A lot of people are losing their jobs, and they're talking about right now in the economy, people, all the new jobs that they're creating. But you know what? It's the upper and middle management jobs that are being lost, and it's the jobs that are being created are more like fast food jobs that are being created. So it's not the same. In fact, I travel a lot, and it's not just the fact that we're in a financial crisis that people are losing their jobs, but I travel, and I was on a plane yesterday. I went and I checked in. I slid my card. It spit my boarding pass out of the machine, and I went and boarded. Whoever used to have that job, that job, I'm here to tell you, is not coming back. Technology is replacing jobs all over the place as well. How about people that are working, and they're working their guts out, and it's still just not enough? Business Week says right here, working and poor. 1 in 4 workers earns $18,800 a year or less in the United States, guys. And this is a global crisis that's taking place. What most people need to be able to reach their goals and their dreams is they need to increase their cash flow. All of us have a certain amount of money that comes in and goes out on a monthly basis. And the problem today is either people have too much money going out, or they don't have enough money coming in. And a lot of people say, well, Byron, it's not all about money. And I know it's not all about money. But if money's not that important, then why do we spend 80% of our time trying to accumulate it? Don't we have better things to be doing with our life, spending time with our families, making a difference, doing a lot. Of course, money's not everything, but you know what it gives us? It gives us freedom to do what we want with who we want when we want. Okay, and so there's ways to get cash flow, whether you have a job and you get wages, whether you have investments and you're making money off of that, have a small business or businesses, but that's the ways that you can get money coming in. You have overhead and expenses with businesses, or loans, or living expenses, or student loans, or schooling, or there's a lot of things that take money out of our pockets. What can you do to not just bring cash flow into your pocket, but to bring continual cash flow? That's the answer. Where you go out there, you build something once, and it continues to pay you. It continues to pay you. If not, what you're doing is you're trading time for money. Okay, and there's not enough time in a day for you to trade it enough times for you to get ahead. You need to be able to create income that is continual. And this type of income, once you go out there and build it, you don't start from zero next week or the next month. Okay, you start from where you already left off, and you continually build and and add on that. And that's what's made the big difference for me. If you're starting at zero at the very end of the very beginning of the pay period, or at the beginning of the month, or at the beginning of if you're starting from zero, guys, you're in a vehicle that's not going to allow you to do that enough times for you to get the freedom that you're really looking for. You need continual income. All right. So how can you get it? Well, there's some different ways that people know that they can get it out there. And one way is, you can make money off of your money if you have it. You can invest into real estate or hard assets and, watch them increase in value and make money that way. I mean, if you're good enough where you're a songwriter or a singer, or you have patents or royalties, you can invent something and make, long term. We're talking about continual income here, guys, not just, just a one-time pop. And so if you have rental properties and real estate, that could be continual income. But just take a look at this for a second. And that all sounds fine and dandy, but for the masses, it's not a reality. Because if you wanted to make an extra $500 a month, and you could find 3% at a bank, if you could find it, you can't even find it right now. If you could find a place to put your money where you could get 3% off of it, you would need to have $200,000 there for you to be able to make $500 a month off of that money. We're talking about continual income, remember? Okay, how much money does somebody need to make to be able to pay taxes, survive, and stash enough to put $200,000 away? For most people, it's never going to happen. Okay, if they wanted to make $2,500 a month, they would need $1 million in the bank. Once again, guys, it's not going to happen for the masses. $5,000 a month, you need $2 million in the bank at 3%. Okay, now I know if you're hearing this, you're probably thinking, okay, that's probably not going to happen for me. Maybe hopefully it does. If you have that kind of money, then then once again, you're leveraged. Let me show you a way to even leverage yourself some more. Okay, rental properties, and once again, guys, if you could get a rental property for $150,000 that could yield $250 a month to you after your expenses and your loan and your payments, that's fantastic. But I think it's going to be a lot more than that. So I'm kind of on the, like I said, I'm showing you the low end here. I'm not showing you the high end. If you could get 2 rental properties for $300,000 at $150,000 a piece, which I think is kind of on the average in the United States is really, really low, and you could make $250 off of them after changing toilets and everything, you could get $500. In this same scenario, you need 10 rental properties and what about the liability with all the loans, and hopefully you have renters and dealing with all those headaches. Or, 20 rental properties if you want to be making $5,000 a month. Okay? Now, once again, this is not going to happen for the masses, but let me show you a quicker way. What if I can show you a way where you don't need to invest, and you don't need to have $200,000. You don't need to put $300,000 on the line, for some rental properties. What if I could show you how for a couple $100, guys, you could plug in to a breakthrough that we have. And with going out and just building a small little business, you could get yourself into the same, scenario within the next few weeks, if that's what you wanted and you wanted to be aggressive about it. That's what I'm here to share with you. Okay, and I don't know what your opinion is of network marketing. I don't know if you've had a good experience. I don't know if you've had a bad experience. I know what mine has been, and it's changed my life. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an opportunity here that is in front of one of the biggest major trends out there. There is no reason to be starving in today's economy. None whatsoever. You know, when I was 24 years old, I started a mortgage company and turned it into a lending company. I was able to get a $10 million line of credit, and I went out and did mortgages. Now, at that time, interest rates were 7.5% in the United States. That was the average rate. And they went from 7.5% to 5%. Now, everybody wanted to refinance their mortgage because it made a big difference in their monthly payment, you know, from 7.5% to 5%. Everybody did. Now, even though I was 24 years old and I didn't have a lot of experience and I hadn't been doing mortgages and loans for 10 years plus, and I didn't really know what I was doing, it didn't matter. Everybody wanted to refinance. I was in the right place at the right time, and that wave took me and propelled me, and I was swimming with the current. So the energy that I put into that, you know, I got a lot further because of the trend. You know, I think I'm a lot more proficient in that industry if I was still there today, you know, with my experience now. But even if I worked 10 times as hard today, I would not get a third of the results that I got back then because the trend is not there like it used to be. Okay? Now, once you have a taste of a trend like that, you're looking for another major trend. And I was, because you see the power of it. You see how, and I found it, guys. There is a major trend happening in today's economy right now, and all you need to know is where it is and how to position in front of it so that you can grab the wave and let this thing propel you. Now, if you look at Paul Zane Pilzer, who's a leading economist, he consults with Fortune 50 companies. He describes the wellness industry as the next trillion-dollar industry. Even though times were tough and unemployment's been at an all-time high and all these types of things last year, you know what still went up in America last year? Okay, gym memberships went up. Plastic surgery went up. Okay, supplementation went up. It exploded. And this isn't a fad. It's not something that's just people are gonna wake up one day and say, we don't care about ourselves anymore. With the internet, with people becoming more educated, with us being sicker than ever, you know, in the world, people are waking up to the fact that not only with their financial situation, but with their health situation, they need to do something about it. Nobody else is gonna do that. Like Paul Zane Pilzer says right here, the wellness industry is growing at breakneck speeds. It's clear to me it will dominate the next decade. Okay, and it is dominating. And I travel the globe, and I can tell you this. This is an industry that is on fire. Okay, and now obviously if it's growing as fast as it's growing, there's a lot of people that are selling supplements and doing, you know, focused on wellness out there. So how do you even compete? How do we compete? Well, you got to be able to have something that other people don't have. You need to differentiate yourself from other people out there. Okay? And that's what I'm going to share with you here in just a second. One of the things that I want you to know is this wellness crisis is not just in the U.S. This is a global phenomenon that's taking place. Okay, heart disease is at an all-time high. Cancer is at an all-time high. Okay, diabetes is at an all-time high, and they're calling it an epidemic. You know, chronic illnesses, all-time high. Okay, for those people that can go out there and help in this scenario, when there's a big problem out there in the economy right now, and you can help it, and when there's a big financial crisis as well as a health crisis, and you can help it, guys, I'm here to tell you, if you can help solve a big problem, money will be attracted to you because people want what you have. People will want what you have. Okay, so there's a crisis going on. This oxidative stress in our environments, just like you see with this apple, our bodies deteriorate over time because of free radicals. And not only that, but guys, there's over 8,000 different chemicals and colorings and additives in our food today that weren't there, 30 years ago. Okay, guys, this is crazy. We are getting bombarded with toxins and additives in our food, in our environments, like we've never had before. And it's affecting all of us. And once again, we're seeing it in the statistics. So like I said, as people are becoming more aware of this, you need something more powerful today than ever before to protect you from things like this. You need a product that is more potent. You need to make sure that what you're putting in your body is there to help protect you. And we have the perfect solution. Companies used to go out there years ago and they'd sell herbs and these plants and different things like that to help, and that was beneficial. And then over time, people would put more vitamins and minerals in pills, and they found that it was more bioavailable in capsules. because it could assimilate in the body a little bit easier than these hard-pressed pills. And then they went to liquids and juices, and the companies that started with this, have done billions in sales. But I want you to think about this, whether we're talking about herbs that come from plants, or they're talking about juices from exotic fruits and different places and vegetables around the globe. All of these things stem from one thing. They all come from one thing. They come from seeds. Seeds are where they come from. And what we have done here at Rain International is we have taken science that's been used for the elite few, okay, and we're taking it to the masses. We know that the power is in the seed. And why do we use seeds? Well, we take the finest ingredients and we take these nutrients out of these seeds, whether we make them into NutriFlowers or press the oils out of them. And we've been able to prove that, in the seeds that we're using, it's 20 to 30 times more potent than in the fruit gram for gram. So in today's toxic environment where you need a concentrated fight against what's attacking us, you don't just want something that could be good for you. You want a powerhouse product. And when we're dealing with seeds and we're talking about the nutrients being 20 to 30 times more potent, guys, in today's world, you need 20 to 30 times more potent than what's on the market today. And we have it naturally concentrated from nature. Okay? And like I said, some of the ingredients that are in Soul, we use the black raspberry seed, which is a powerful, potent antioxidant that fights the free radicals. It's really, really good for cardiovascular health, which, is one of the biggest problems today, cardiovascular problems. We got the Chardonnay grape seed, once again, a powerful antioxidant. It has resveratrol in it, which is the most powerful anti-aging antioxidant that we know of on the planet. Okay. Now, I don't know anybody that wouldn't like to slow the aging process down and look younger longer. I don't know anybody that wouldn't like to have these antioxidants in their body at this type of potency to be able to give them naturally the defense that they need to help their body in our toxic environment. And with our financial crisis that we're in, do you know what? Guys, people are under stress like they've never been before in today's economy. You need to once again, stress is a major problem when it comes to overall health and wellness. And so these are things that people need. Black cumin seed. Now, black cumin, this is I would say kind of the powerhouse in this elixir for the body that we're talking about. This black cumin, has been used for thousands of years. It's mentioned in the Old Testament in Isaiah. They found it in Pharaoh's tomb. This is what he was buried in, black cumin. In the Quran, Muhammad says that the black cumin can cure everything but death. So they've been using this for thousands of years. It has natural omegas in there. Guys, omega-3, if you want omega-3, where do you get it from? You get it from fish oil. We need essential fatty acids in our body. We're getting the wrong type of fats in our body. We need energy. Okay, and D-ribose is a 5-carbon sugar. It's a cellular energy. Your body doesn't have to do anything to turn it into energy. Usually your body takes a 6-carbon sugar and has to create a 5-carbon out of it to be able to utilize it. Okay, we're bringing you the foundation of all the major problems that are taking place in today's world, all the major elements. We've got a foundation in the product which we call Soul that every single person, young and old, needs to be on. Okay, like I said, 20 times to 30 times more potent. The oils and the flowers that are extracted from seeds provide protection for your cells. It reduces the likelihood of free radical damage. It increases the thickness of cell membranes, so it's harder for these free radicals to damage you and your DNA. As you saw that picture of somebody aging, what happens is your DNA just doesn't replicate. It gets broken down over time. It doesn't replicate like it used to, and it's usually done by oxidative stress and free radicals. If you can slow that down and you can protect your cells, I'm here to tell you, it's not just about living longer, guys. It's about living better. Okay, we have diverse and high levels of nutrients in this product. This isn't a product webinar tonight. I'm not going to go through everything, but here's what you need to know. This is not on trial. You can take any one of these ingredients that we're talking about, go Google it, and you can read till you're blue in the face. Go to PubMed.gov. It's a publicmedicine.gov, PubMed.gov. Type in any one of these ingredients, and you can read till you're blue in the face. It's not on trial. I'm not here to prove to you that you need antioxidants. That's done. I mean, the jury's out. Okay, all I'm here to tell you is we have a product like nobody else. We're going to the source of all nutrition, which is seeds. This breakthrough is phenomenal, and here's what we're willing to do here at Rain International. We're willing to share this breakthrough with you. How can you position one of the biggest trends in the global economy? Well, we have the answer, and we're willing to share. Because most companies, when they have an answer, you know what? They don't share. They go out there and they dominate, and the big companies out there make millions and billions of dollars while we just make them money by buying the products. It's here at Rain International, we're going to share this breakthrough with you. You have a chance to go out there and position and create some additional, like I said, continual cash flow to get towards your hopes and your dreams, guys. And that is, once again, it's powerful and it's empowering because, you know, you can take something, the millions of dollars that have been spent here, you didn't have to spend them. You didn't have to spend the millions of dollars for us to put everything together to be able to take this to the world. You didn't have to spend that. We did. But we're willing now to share it with you. Okay, so we could go into all the different things with the omega-6s, 3s, and 9s, the different 24 vitamins and minerals. But once again, like I said, it's not on trial. It's science-based. It's real. And people are getting real results all over the world. I see everywhere I go, amazing things happen from people that are getting on this product. This is a revolutionary product. Okay, now this industry, like I said, where we're willing to share, it's an industry that's endorsed by some of the biggest guys out. You got Donald Trump that was asked, you know, if he lost everything, what would he do? He said he'd start a network marketing company. In fact, he has. You got Robert Kiyosaki doing the same thing. The reason that this industry works is because it works for the masses. People can do this, and it's an even playing field. You have an opportunity to, you know, put yourself in the situation you want to be in. Nobody can stop you. We have the systems in place to do that, guys, to help you go out there and see the results that you want to see and that you're looking for. Okay, so let me look and show you kind of the history. Like I said, history repeats itself. Now, there was a company that started a few years ago, over 20 years ago, and it took them 5 years to hit 50 million in sales, and then something happened. They went from 50 million in sales to 500 million in sales in 18 months. And this company started down the street from where I live. And there's a lot of millionaires that were made because they were in the right place at the right time. Now, I signed up into this company that I'm showing you right here when it was 20 years old, and it was $1 billion deal at that time. I helped open up 11 countries. I was getting paid out over 11 countries. I hit the top level of the compensation plan, and I was making, you know, some pretty significant income. But guess what? I couldn't come close to the incomes of the people that started those first 5 years that took it serious and positioned. Now, I'm going to pose a question and ask a question. Why? Were they more dedicated than I was? I don't think so. I moved my family all over the world. Were they more committed than I was? I don't think so. They were better positioned than I was. That was what I think the difference is they were better positioned than I was. Now, there's another company that started in 2005 that came up with a different type of compensation plan in this industry. It was a hybrid binary comp plan. And it took them, you know, 2.5 years to hit 50 million in sales. And for some of those people that were in the right place at the right time, when that thing went from 50 million to $1 billion, and so some of those people make $150,000 every single week, not month, week, because they were in the right place at the right time. You know, in the other company that is before that, there's people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, 20 years after the fact, still. But these people in the second scenario are making that kind of money weekly. And I think it's, you know, my opinion is because of the compensation plan. They had a good product, yeah, but they have a compensation plan that motivates people, right? Now, here's what's going on with Rain International. We've been seeing steady growth ever since we started. Okay, but something hasn't happened yet. We haven't hit 50 million in sales, but we will. Okay, we will. So now is the time for us to position. You're here now. You're hearing about this now before we hit this hyper growth. And so now is the time for you to take this thing serious and put the blinders on like I am and go out there and position yourself in the marketplace so when this explodes, you've got the team and the army in place to go and dominate and grab a majority of the market share as we expand across the globe. And the exciting thing is, guys, is you're here now. You can go out and ask 100 people. Go out on the street and ask 100 people if they've heard of Rain International. And I can guarantee you, most likely you're going to get 100 no's. And you know what I call that? I call that opportunity. You are here at the right place at the right time. And what I tell people is the product that I just shared with you in this industry, I'm going to compare it like a vehicle. The product is like, the gasoline that you would put in a vehicle. So the better the gas, the better the engine can run. But the compensation and how people get paid is the engine. And if you want to be able to just drive around town, a car engine's going to be fine. But if you want to go to the moon, you need a different engine. I want to go to the moon. And so we've taken the best compensation plan that can allow us to do that, and we've enhanced it for you. Okay, and I believe we're going to create some of the biggest incomes in this industry, in this company, with this compensation plan, based on, not Byron's opinion, but based on fact, history, and figures, guys. It's proven. So we have 7 main ways that we pay people. And once again, tonight I'm going over the concepts. I'm not going to talk about, all the different ways you can make, the product works. And I'm not going to talk about all the different, go into too much detail with the comp plan. I'm here to cover the basics. If the basics make sense, then what you need to do is you need to join us. And you're going to learn as you go. Okay, so let me tell you the difference between this system and traditional systems. A lot of systems, what happens is as you build your team and you put customers in your business and you go out there, you build in a straight line. So you just put the next person in the next available spot, across the top there. Okay, and so, before when I went and I opened up a country like Hungary, that's great, but who did that benefit? The person at the top and me. And then when I went and opened up the US or Canada or went and opened up Ireland or somewhere else, you're starting a whole new line and a whole new team. So when I'm in Hungary, I can't help the U.S. And when I'm in the U.S., I can't help Hungary. And everybody's an island unto themselves, and you're spinning all these plates and trying to help everybody, but it's kind of massive and kind of hard to do. What if we didn't build straight across, though, like that? What if we built down? Okay, what if we had to build down? So the people that get positioned first, as you're bringing more people in, you're blocking them in, and you're motivating them. So now, if I open up Hungary, and then we continue to build down, and then I open up the U.S. Okay, we're building down. So now, as I'm in the U.S. helping people in the U.S., I'm actually helping people in Hungary because it flows up, guys. This is the cool thing about this, is you're hearing about this now. Not only is the timing phenomenal, but the positioning is even more phenomenal, because you can position yourself as we take this around the world. We have to build down. You can motivate your people and your teams by building your team. We have to build down, guys. So that's a key component. And how this works as we build down is we pay every single week, every Friday. We pay. We call it Happy Friday. How would you like to get paid every single Friday and start the weekend that way? So if you need more money next week, work hard this week. Whatever you do between, Monday and Sunday, we're going to pay you the following Friday. Now, in this part of the compensation plan, as this builds down, we pay 10% of the lesser side. So, for example, at the end of the week, the system looks at how much volume's total. It doesn't care where it came from. It can come from you, your people, somebody else's people, as the tree goes down, and it just totals up the total points. So you see 12,000 on one side, 23,000 on the other. We're going to pay 10% of the lesser side. So you're gonna make $1,200 that week. So then we deduct 12,000 from both sides, and you start the week with 0 points on the one side and 11,000 points on the other. Now this is key, because those 11,000 points that you capitalize on stay and wait for you. They don't disappear. Most companies, if you don't capitalize off the compensation that pay period, it's done. Better luck next time. You're starting at 0 and 0. Okay. Not here, not at Rain International. It's sitting there, and if it takes you a week or a month or a year to catch up to that volume, it's there. As long as you're active in this business, that will wait for you. There's no breakage in this. Now, what happens is we'll pay up to $10,000 a week in this portion of the compensation plan. But this is the small money, because what we do, not only do we pay in the binary, but we pay another way too. And we look at now your people in the traditional way. So, for example, if you sponsored 4 people and brought them into the business, and they're in your binary tree in the next available spot, wherever that is, if you look at the sponsor tree, now we're going to see people in order of who brought who into the business, kind of the traditional way. And what happens is you can get a percentage 7 generations deep of leaders, not levels, leaders deep, which can be hundreds of levels. And whatever they get paid in the binary, you can get in the team commissions there, you can get a percentage of that. So if that week there's a 10% bonus generation match, and one of your persons got a $1,000 check, you're going to get a $100 check, 10% that week, because they got 1,000. Okay, and that's not just off of your people, but off of their people and their people and their people and their people and their 7 generations deep. So when your people succeed, you succeed. This is a team approach, and it benefits everybody. We have to build down in the binary. We only get so we can help our people that way, and then we only get paid if our people get paid in the sponsor tree. So guys, you have a compensation plan where people have a vested interest in you succeeding. Okay, I've been to a lot of companies and a lot of places where you got the person on the stage making all this money and nobody in the audience is making money. That can't happen here. The only way people can succeed is if their people succeed on their team. And that's fantastic and phenomenal. Okay, but you know what? We allow people, when they start their business, to start with one business, which means they get one position in the comp plan, or to start with 3 business centers where they can make not just $10,000 a week once, but $10,000 a week 3 times, $30,000 a week right from the get-go. You get these positions. You don't have to wait till you maximize one position out first and then you get another one. Yeah, you can get 3 right at the very beginning and have a chance to make 3 times the money, 2 to 3 times the money as you're out there building, which is, once again, phenomenal. Guys, what we're talking about right now is going to make history. Okay, I've been in this industry for over 10 years full time. I've hit top levels of companies. I've had people recruit me, try to offer me money, cars, teams, countries, you name it. Out of everything I've seen, guys, this bar none is the best compensation plan with the best product that I've ever seen. Okay, and I'll put my money where my mouth is, because I started in this company as a distributor, and when I saw what was going on and how powerful this product was and how powerful this compensation was, okay, I believed in it so much I went out and teamed up with some of my partners and we bought it from the original owners. Okay, I didn't get paid money to be here. In fact, I've paid 7 figures to be able to take a more active role in this company. And guys, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is. It's not just talk. I believe that this thing is going to break records. I believe this thing is going to be one of the biggest network marketing companies in this industry, because we have a real product and a real comp plan that really pays people. Okay, so it's fantastic. So here's the question that I want to ask you. What do you want? How much do you want it? Go back to your dreams and what you really want. If you keep doing what you're doing right now, how long is it going to take you to get where you want to be? How long? Okay, most people are going to say never. Guys, if you don't change something, things are not going to change for you. It's not going to happen. What do you want? What type of Rain's market share? What piece do you want? Because my mentor, when I first started in this business, he started in a company when it was young, and he was able to grab over 50% of that company's volume when it was young. Now, this company, 25 years later, did almost $1.8 billion in sales. $1.8 billion in sales. Now, at the beginning, when it was small, he was able to grab 50% of the market share. Over that. Now where it's doing huge volume, guess what? 50% of the volume still comes through his organization. Right now, we're dividing up the pieces of the pie. How big a piece do you want? Okay, what do you want? Okay, right now you have an opportunity to be first in something that I believe is going to be not only history in the making, but is going to be something that I don't think I'll ever see again, that I could be a part of. This big, that has this big of an effect with these types of trends in our favor. So you just need to ask yourself a question. How serious are you to change your situation right now? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Okay, what are you going to do about it? Okay, do you have a better solution than what I'm showing you? Okay, because if you do, please share with me. But if you don't, you need to be teaming up with us and doing this, because what we're talking about right now is fantastic. And not only do we want you to help you build a global international business, okay, but we want to also give you the opportunity to see the world. Okay, we have lifestyle bonuses, extra money that we haven't even gotten into that can you can use towards car or houses. We have incentive trips. Guys, if you like what you've heard now so far, all I can say is if you look into this further, you're just going to get more ecstatic about the whole thing, because I've just scratched the surface of how good this company really is. All right? So do what you got to do to get where you got to get, but get there fast, because we're moving. Okay, and this thing isn't waiting for anybody. The thing about opportunity is no respecter of persons. Just because one person doesn't get it and see it doesn't mean that it's still not good. Somebody else is going to grab that opportunity and run with it. So all I can tell you guys is this. My final thoughts are this. Those in today, the biggest risk are those people who are not willing to risk anything. Because if you don't risk anything, guess what? You'll probably end up with nothing as well. In life, life is not going to take you just where you want it to go without you going out there and making the path and fighting for it. Okay, and the difference between whether you say, I wish I would have, or I'm glad I did at the end of your life, is whether or not you took decisive action during your life. And I tell people this all the time. You can either read about history or you can be a part of it. I choose to be a part of it, and I hope you do too. So get back with the person that got you on this webinar. Get your questions answered. Get positioned, guys, because we're building down, and the difference between now and tomorrow could be 1 or 2 people. The difference between this week and next week could be 10, 15, 20, 30 people that you could have underneath you if you make the decision and you take decisive action. And once again, I appreciate you for taking some time out of your evening and listening to this webinar. It is what it is, and if you don't believe me now, trust me, you'll believe me later. This is Byron Belka, wishing everybody a great, fantastic night and wishing you the greatest life. Let's go out there and together make it rain. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.